Yeah, so again, sorry for the delay. Thanks everyone for jumping on. We're probably going to go pretty quick just so you have about 10, 15 minutes to get these plays in. Real quick, I kind of spoke about this without or the last few weeks. I really haven't put anything up. So this is what we call a Wong teaser, Wong. Some statistician came up with it. So essentially, you look for games that are in 49 points or less, the over under, and then you play two team 6 point teasers. So if you think about it, the statistics, if the game's less than 49 points, um, and you can get a 12 point spread within the team, then the odds of that happening, because it's the odds of that being a close game is extremely high. So if you have a home favorite, you tease them down. So if the home favorite of 7.5, 8, 8.5 to 9, you tease them down 6 points. Let's say there's a home favorite of 9 points. You tease them down six, so you'll tease them to -3.
Yeah.
And we have one of those. So the Cards and 49ers. The 49ers are at home. They're 8.5 point favorites against the Cards. Or sorry.
Oh, no, against the
Yeah,
they played the Cardinals last week
that's right. My bad. But the 49ers are 8.5 point favorites today.
against the
Um,
Saints.
the Saints, yeah. So then we'll tease them down to +2.5. And also that's passing that mark, what we call the hook line. So we talked about it. 3, 6, 7, and 10 are all hook lines based off of how
Yeah.
football is scored. Um, so yeah, so that's one of them. So the 49ers at home teased down to -2.5. Like so the line I think is moved from 9 to, and the next one teased home underdogs of 1, 1.5, 2 or 2.5 points up to
Mm.
6. So then that will pass that hook line of 7. And then the last one you tease road underdogs of 1.5, 2 or 2.5 points up. So again, the statistician went and looked through it all, and I'll show you how
Mm.
accurate this is. So this is the 2015, since 2015 up until last year, 8.5 point favorites that were teased down to so you take away 6 to -2.5, they covered 86% of the time. -8 favorites is the worst. If you tease them down to 2, they covered 64% of the time. But you can see this, and so what you'll do is you'll tease two of them. So I'm sorry. So we'll tease two of them. So I just told about the 49ers -8.5. You tease down to 2.5. Well, the Cards, they opened up at 2.5. They're at 3 right now. I'm probably going to fade them. The other ones we have are the Broncos and Panthers, and the Bengals and the Titans. So if you tease the Panthers that are +1.5 home favorites, 6 points at 7.5. So if you tease them with the 49ers, you get -145. Again, because this is so, the odds should be better, but because this is so accurate and works so well, the bookies, FanDuel, DraftKings, what have you, have caught onto it. So
Yeah.
they make the odds a little bit less appealing to use. If you take away that hook, so if let's say that the Titans are +1.5, you tease them up to 7.5, that's -146. If you take away that hook to +6.5, so essentially you tease them up 5, it goes from -146 to -128. I think the Viking, I don't know how the Titans are 1.5 point home underdogs. So that's the Wong teaser I'm going to do today is the 49ers tease the 2.5 and the Titans tease the 7.5. With if you want to take the risk to the Titans at 6.5 at -128, that is good as well. So
All right.
I know I kind of went over that pretty quickly. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out and message me. I'll turn my video on now. I'll stop the screen share. I think is my screen still sharing?
It is.
There
You
we
know,
go.
you're having technical
There we
difficulties.
go. Okay. There. Yeah. All right. I think I got that off. So yeah, so look it up. I'll put it here in the chat. Wong teaser. There was 5 of them. the Pats Thursday night football, they were 2.5 point underdogs. You tease them to 8.5, that one, to because they lost by 7. So it is very, very accurate. Usually you can do 2 teams if you want to do 3. That's just a higher risk that depending on what you're willing to take. And again, the Cardinals, they started out as 1 at +2.5. The line just switched to 3. So that's kind of risky. It's technically not part of it, but again, that's up to you if you want to take that or not.
Yeah, actually, I like that. I would have a teaser with those 3. I actually don't have a single underdog pick today, which
Really?
is pretty crazy. Not a single one. I mean, I guess you can count one of these as an underdog, but they're not really an underdog.
Yeah, I don't consider anything an underdog pick if it's 2.5.
Yeah.
Like, unless it's a
It's
field goal or
like
better, I don't really consider that an underdog.
Yeah, so I'll start it up, and I'll go to the Ravens and Jaguars. And in this game, I like the Ravens. And a lot of the money is going to the Jaguars, so just beware of that. The Sharps are also favoring the Jaguars too, but I am looking at the Ravens. If you look at the DVOA charts, the Jaguars rank 31st in pass defense, and while the Ravens haven't been too great in the past couple of games, Lamar Jackson hasn't had over 250 passing yards in his past 3 games. I think this is where they get back on track. I'm expecting them to get Mark Andrews involved a little bit more. His weapons aren't great, but Gus Edwards looks to be coming back. So I'm expecting Lamar Jackson to have a bit of a comeback game against the Jags defense, who led up 21 points to Russell Wilson and the Broncos, who are just absolutely horrible team. And yeah, that's what I'm taking here. Their defense overall isn't very great. So I'm expecting the Ravens offense to kind of get back on track. They only won by 10 points. I mean, they won 13-3 against the Panthers, but it was like 3-3 up until the fourth quarter. Like late in the fourth quarter. So definitely not too confident in the Ravens right now. I'm expecting their defense.
My bad.
You just mute me?
I muted the wrong person.
I'm expecting Ravens defense to give Trevor Lawrence some trouble, but definitely don't have a lot of stock invested in the Ravens. I'll take them at -3.5 at a 1-unit play. So small play to start off.
I like that. I think the reason why this line is only 3 is because the Jags are coming off a bye, so that's another week for them to really dial in. It's kind of, I mean, it's a must win. They must win out. The line opened up at 42.5. Money's coming on the under. It's now at 43, so I'm kind of confused about that. So I got to kind of see. So that was my bet, was under 42.5, but right now that's a lean. The Jags are also 11th in rushing yards allowed. They allow 110 yards a game. They have given up big plays to running quarterbacks. Daniel Jones, I think, got like 126 yards and a touchdown, if not 2 against them. So I'm going to take Lamar Jackson over 52.5 rushing yards.
Yeah.
The defense is also really, really good. That's why I think the under is going to hit. They've only given up 86.4. They're ranked 3rd in the best in rushing. And they're currently on a 4-game winning streak and only allowing 14.5 points a game. I don't see how the Jags can score over 21. So, yeah, again, so this is also really close to a Wong teaser, with it being on under 43. So 1 unit at Jackson over 52.5 yards rushing. And then currently I'm leaning the under 43.
Okay. I like those plays. I like both of them. Next one, Bengals, Titans. I'm taking the Bengals. I would usually be liking the Titans in this situation, but here I actually don't like them. And looking at the Bengals offense, I thought the Bengals would struggle immensely without Jamar Chase, but they've proven that that's not true at all. They've been the most efficient offense the past 4 weeks, even without Chase, and they're going to continue to do it today. The Titans secondary is middle of the pack, ranking 13th in passing DVOA. They are 1st in running DVOA, and the Bengals are missing Joe Mixon. So that is something to look out for. The Bengals are going to be pretty one-dimensional offensively. But looking at the Titans side, I think the Titans are going to be even more one-dimensional. I mean, if we look at the numbers, the Bengals do rank 13th in the league in rushing defense, but they got DJ Reader back now. And with DJ Reader, they actually rank first in rushing defense, so better than the Titans, who are the best rushing defense right now. With DJ Reader, I expect them to really stop Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry and his running game opens up the pass. The Titans are first in rushing rate on first down. They run 67% of the time, and that opens up the play action pass on second and third downs. I don't think Derrick Henry and the run will really get going. I think the Bengals will be able to stop that. The Bengals are missing Awuzie, their best quarterback, but they still have a strong secondary that ranks 9th against the pass. I'm expecting them to shut down this Titans offense a bit. I think the Bengals offense gets going, and I think they win and cover this one by 1.5, by 1 point.
Yeah, I don't have any plays on this. All I know is the Titans offensive coordinator got arrested with a DUI after their game. So he was in, he was in,
see this.
he posted a $2,500 bond the next day. So I think he missed 1 day of practice. He is coaching. I looked that up. So I don't know how that's going to affect this game. But that's just kind of something to see. Is the offensive coordinator obviously usually does 15, 16 hours of video work a day, and missing one, if not two. He had to sit in like different meetings and stuff with head office, front office. So he's definitely not going to be as prepared against this Bengals offense that is surprisingly doing really well without Jamar Chase. So yeah, I like that pick. I just don't have any for today.
All right. Moving on. Buccaneers against the Browns. And I'm going to back Tom Brady here. The big thing that I think could be a problem with betting against the Bucs is the Browns running game. They rank 4th in overall running DVOA, but Chubb has not been producing. He's been pretty bad the past 2 weeks, and a lot of that running game is from Chubb's production. So, I mean, the Bucs are no slack on running defense. They rank 11th. So I would expect Chubb to not break out again. And if Chubb can't get it going, this could be a blowout. The Bucs are getting it going on passing. Now they rank 9th in DVOA, and they've been great. Tom Brady is 40 of 55 in the past 5 quarters. So I'm expecting the Bucs offense to light it up against a terrible Browns defense. They rank 31st in overall defense, 27th in passing defense, and 32nd in running defense. So I like the Bucs offense to get going, Tom Brady to get going, and I don't really think Chubb will be able to get going. Also, this whole thing with Jacoby Brissett, you got to think his mind can't be in it, knowing he's just going to get pulled after this week.
Right, and he's going against his mentor. I mean, he was under Brady for 8 years.
Exactly. So I'm going to back the Bucs -3 in this game. It's 3.5 right now, but I'm going to bet it down to 3. I'm going to buy the points and take them at a 3-unit play.
All right. So another thing, when we say either buy the point, you can do that at the start, or you can watch the game and wait for the coin flip. Yeah. If the other team gets the ball, so let's say the Browns get the ball and they're moving it and they get past the 40, 45, 50, that line's going to shift down to 3 to 2.5 because they're expected to score. If they kick a field goal, that line's probably going to move to +1, 1.5 right off the start. So that's another kind of way. Obviously, if you can't sit and watch games, then buy that point off the start. I like the Bucs on this also. Fournette is injured, so I think that's going to give a lot of runs to Rachaad White.
Yeah, I like his attempts over in this one.
Yeah, he had 22 and 105 yards rushing after Fournette got injured last game, so that's not even a full game. Him at anytime touchdown scores -105. They have a lot of, obviously Tom Brady's not going to do too many quarterback sneaks. Without Fournette, if they get inside the 5, they're just going to run it to him. So I like that. Also, that's a lean for me. The only thing, so yeah, I like the over on this, but because the Browns have the second worst scoring defense, giving up almost 27 points per game.
Yeah.
Brady 7-1 against the Browns, but the last 4 of the Bucs coming off a bye week that have went under by an average of 8 points. So So
They're
that's
also worse at home too. They average 15 points per game
right.
away and 20 at home.
And I haven't looked at the weather, so I don't know if it's raining there or what. But so that's kind of like T Cave and I were talking before how we do these deep dives, and it kind of hurts us sometimes because I like the over, but I'm staying away just because they have averaged 8 points under the last 4 games. So I
Yeah.
like I like that Bucks pick, but my official play is gonna be Rashad White's over 17 and a half carries.
All right. Moving on, Dolphins and Texans. I was originally looking at the spread, but 14 points is just a little too much for me. I don't like betting a team to cover by 14. To me, that's a little too much. So instead, I'm going to look to the total in the Dolphins Texans game. I mean, the Dolphins offense has been great. They rank second in DVOA and first in passing. So overall, they've been lighting it up. And Jeff Wilson has been great. He averages 6.5
It's
yards.
great. That was a huge pickup for them. He
Um,
he did nothing. What was
yeah,
it? The Jets?
uh,
Or
Niners.
Niners.
They didn't play him a lot. And I think the Dolphins offense is going to obviously do well against the Texans defense, which is absolutely terrible. They don't really do anything right. But the Dolphins, as good they've been offensively, are actually terrible defensively. Not terrible, but pretty bad. They're in 25th overall and 26th against the pass. They're a little better against the run with Bradley Chubb now. But I think the Texans now pulling what's his name again? Davis Mills,
Yeah.
and now putting in Kyle Allen is going to affect this a lot. I think Kyle Allen, as we know, is like he could be a risk taker. So either the Texans will put up some points or will not be good at all. But that will result in some quick drives for the Texans. Hopefully he shoots it down, throws it deep. But, I'm not going to rely too much on the prowess of Kyle Allen. I will still take the over at 46.5, but I'm only going to take it at a 2-unit play.
Okay. I do like that. I don't have any picks on this. I was looking kind of like what you said last week. Bet anybody's running back over against the Texans. I think that hit in like the second quarter, didn't it, last week?
Yeah.
But I think it's like 78.5 is what Jeff Wilson's. And Tua's thrown 3 touchdown games, which is insane. But I like the over. I do. I didn't have that pick, but I think I might tail that.
Yeah, I like it. Here's my biggest play of the day, and this comes in the Jets-Bears game. And I'm going to take the Jets to cover a relatively big spread. To me, the biggest thing that pushed me over the edge is Justin Fields does not look like he's playing today.
Yeah, he's ruled out. I just got that.
Yeah, so he's ruled out, and that's a big thing. He's been the only reason the Bears have been competitive, and he's just the guy who's been putting on points for this team. They really don't have anything. Like, their weapons aren't very good. The O-line isn't very good. The defense is horrible. So, and Zach Wilson has been really the only thing holding the Jets back. I think Mike White is good enough to be able to get the Jets some points here. We saw what happened when the Jets faced a backup quarterback against the Dolphins. They won 42-17, absolutely dominated. And I think they're going to dominate again today. I don't even know the name. I can't remember the name of the guy that's starting for the Bears, but he won't be able to do much against the Jets defense, which is very good, ranking 6th overall, 6th against the pass and 5th against the run. So I would expect the Jets to put up some points and cover the spread. I think it's right now at 7, but it's at plus 100. So I'll buy the points and take it at minus 6.5.
I don't have anything on this. All I know is, did you see that coin, the Jets coin? There's this Jets fan that flipped a coin before, like in the preseason for the Jets, and it's currently 10-0 on their head to head, straight up, no spread, nothing.
What does it say for this game?
It says that they lose against the Bears.
Oh my God. Let's hope it's
so the coin's 10-0 currently. They have him losing against the Bears. But of course, this is a very different game than what the coin probably predicted in the preseason. They don't have either starting quarterback is playing. So, but yeah, it's just kind of insanity. Fun story. Like it predicted the Bills loss or their Bills win and everything. So,
do the Jets play the Bills again? Yeah, they do.
I'm not sure, but it predicted them to be, I think, like 11 11-6 or something with a first round playoff loss. So it's kind of crazy.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see. Hopefully, we will be the ones to stop the coin today.
So it's Sam against
Sam against the coin. Yeah, let's go. If you have no place in that, I'll just move on.
Yeah.
Commanders versus the Falcons. Canada game is laughable. I'm not watching it. What's going on in the Canada game? I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways,
well, yeah.
Commanders, Falcons. I'm gonna take the Commanders to cover 3.5 here. And it's a relatively big spread, so I'm a bit worried. I might bet this down to 1 unit. Luckily, a lot of the sharps and the big money is coming in on the Commanders, but I really do like the Commanders here. I mean, the Falcons have been pretty bad offensively in the past couple of games, and that's more because Mariota is not really a good starting quarterback. They're going to have to rely heavily on the run, and that's not good when you're facing the Commanders, who have the second best running defense in the league. I'm expecting the Commanders to really lock down on the Falcons, and I don't think the Falcons are really going to score that much at all. I don't think Mariota is going to be able to throw, and I think they're going to make it very difficult on him. And on the Commanders side of the ball, the Commanders don't have a great offense either, but Taylor Heineke seems to get it done, and the Falcons' defense is not good at all, ranking 29th overall. So I'm liking the Commanders. If you want, you could also take the under here because I don't think the Falcons are going to get many points. I actually might add that to my plays, and I'm probably going to take the under 42. So I'm going to add that right now. Commanders, Falcons under 42 points. I think that's a play that will definitely hit. And also, if you want, you can take the Commanders to cover 3.5, but I'm not so sure about that. I would take that at 1 unit. I would take the under at a higher play.
Yeah, I don't understand what the Falcons are doing. They have a dominant back in Patterson, and they are not utilizing him.
Yeah.
So again, burn me once, shame on me, or shame on you, burn me twice, shame on me. I like Patterson as a running back, but because
never mind. It was bet down. It's actually at 40 right now.
It got bet down to 40. Oh wow. Yeah, because of the inaccuracy of Mariota is making their running game not be very good because they get down, they have to pass it or whatnot. So I don't have any plays on this either.
Okay. And moving on to my final play of the day, because we want to give you guys some time to place these bets. We're going to the Panthers and the Broncos. And I'm going to take the Panthers here. You know, a lot of the money's coming towards the Panthers. The experts like the Panthers, and I'm going to ride with the experts here, and I'm going to take the Panthers. The Broncos, like, I don't know what is wrong with them. Their offense just isn't good, and they couldn't even beat the Raiders. Even the Colts beat the Raiders. So I think that's absolutely nuts that they couldn't beat the Raiders. So I really don't have a lot of faith in the Broncos. The Panthers were actually pretty good, and they're able to be competitive. They stayed competitive against the Ravens until like a late push. But I think they'll be able to lock down the Broncos, and I think the Panthers will be able to get it going. It's going to be a weird one, but I do like the Panthers here. I don't have any faith in the Broncos. I like the Panthers to win at a 3-unit play. So I like their money line.
Sam, we're going to need to square this one out.
You're a Colts fan too?
In and out.
All right.
Why is everyone like that? I don't know why. I didn't even know there was like Colts fans that lived.
Dude, Colts country. Let's ride. Colts country. Let's ride. Big Monday Night Football game.
Who are they playing today? Oh, we're playing the Colts. I mean, Steelers.
Steelers Monday night. So my mom's side of the family grew up in Pittsburgh, so a bunch of them are coming in to go to the game. So I might try and snag me a ticket. See.
But see, there's more of us.
Fortunately, I don't have to do anything regarding their picks today, so I can actually enjoy my Sunday and not have a pouty face. Yeah, this is again. Melvin Gordon got waived. Williams is on the IR, so the Broncos only have one running back. I mean, they have a guy that they've got off the practice squad. Yeah. Russell Wilson obviously is not their QB1. So I have him, Latavius Murray over 17.5 rushes. If they want to have any fighting chance, they have to get the running game involved. And there have been the Panthers are also last in the running. Like Panthers running defense is terrible. 6 other teams have ran over 30 times against the Panthers. So if the Broncos cannot get their starting running back over 15, or I guess over 18 rushes, over 17, then that's a coaching problem, a coaching fault. So I have Latavius Murray over 17.5 rushes on that. And then also with the Panthers, again, I'm blanking on the dude's the quarterback.
Who?
The Panthers quarterback.
PJ Walker?
No, is
Baker Mayfield?
Mayfield. Yeah, is Walker playing today?
I think so.
Really? Okay.
Usually play. I think so. Right?
Because last week Baker Mayfield played, and I don't know why people
Maybe
still
they
think
play Baker Mayfield on. We don't know.
I don't know why they still think he's a good quarterback. They took the running game when they traded CMC to the 49ers, the Panthers got back to the running game, and Foreman was just a bulldog. And they have no idea why they went away from that. That was a winning formula for them. Surprisingly, FanDuel or DraftKings didn't have their rushes as of 10 minutes ago. So I'm going to go Deontay Foreman over 55 yards at 2 units. Because again, in the over 17.5, I think this is going to be a running affair. I like the under, but it's so low. I think it's like 39 or something.
Yeah.
But so both teams, they have to run the ball in order to win. Their quarterback play is awful. So I like Murray over 17.5 rushes at 2 units and Deontay Foreman at over 55 yards at 2 units as well. The Broncos do have a pretty stout defensive line. That's why they have been in all the games that they've been playing in. If there was any other quarterback, the Broncos easily could be a 2-loss.
Sam Darnold is playing?
So they're really reaching into the grab bag.
I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
So I guess because we don't know who the quarterback play is, I'm going to take the Deontay Foreman at a 1 unit play.
But I'm probably going to scrap Panthers money line just because there's too much uncertainty.
Right.
I hate uncertainty.
Thank you. So I know that it's been up in the air, and I think it was like a game time decision. So thanks, Dallas, if Sam Darnold is playing. But when we get off of here, I will look to see. So if you want, also I know we're only doing 1 o'clock games, but something kind of cool, a stat that I just saw, is after the NFL Mexico City game.
Yeah.
You know how it's the altitude's crazy high there.
Sure.
So the following week, the teams have been outscored 81-44 in the second half. So there's been 3 games played in Mexico City, 6 games. And then also they obviously played on a Monday, so they're on a shorter rest.
Mm-hmm.
So the under or the spread in those games might be something to look at.
All right, perfect. I mean, want to give you guys some time to place the bet, so I'm going to do a quick recap. And Jacob will do a quick recap of his picks. I'm going to scrap my final 2 picks. I just feel like I'm looking at a little more research to them, and I didn't like them as much. I think I kind of rushed them in, so I want to make sure I get quality picks in for you guys. So here are the 5 I'm looking at. Ravens minus 3.5, 1 unit. Bengals minus 1, 3 units. Bucks minus 3, 3 units. Dolphins, Texans over 46.5, 2 units, and Jets minus 6.5, 4 units are my 1 o'clock games. If you guys have any questions, Jacob, actually, if you have any questions about my picks, just ask him right now, and then Jacob will do a quick recap on his picks.
Yeah, if you can't talk, the chat's open. So
yeah. All right, Jacob, you can go. We can stop it if anyone else.
Awesome. So I have Bucks running back White at over 67.5 yards. The Ravens Jag is a lean currently at under 43. I'm still waiting for the money to come in on that. Latavius Murray over 17.5 rushes at 2 units. Deontay Foreman over 55 yards. Lamar Jackson over 52.5 yards. And leaning the Bucks and Browns under at 42.5 as well.
All right.
So those are my picks. Again, Oh, also the Wong teasers, the Broncos Panthers, the Panthers have is a Wong teaser. The Bengals Titans, the Cards 49ers is an asterisk because the line moved to 3. And then the 49ers game is also 1. So
Yep.
I will put the ones that I'm playing, but you guys can choose obviously which ones you want. If you want to tease them all, I think it's like plus 250 for as a 4-team teaser. So yeah, and if you have any questions regarding that, I'll post those the graph and everything that I talked about at the beginning in the chat, in the VIP chat.
Perfect. Yeah, also tough. I mean, last week, I just want to mention it quickly before we head out. Ended my streak of 6 straight winning weeks. So I'm angry. There's a fire in my mouth, so I have extra motivation with each of these picks. Let's look for a winning week again. Also probably post some 4:00 plays in the VIP chat for anyone out here.
Yeah, and I went 8-0 yesterday, unfortunately. So I'm back. Let's see if we can continue. I was in Ohio, visited my roommate in college. And so even if we can't, I only played the last 3 picks. I only got the DeAndre Ayton, the American, I don't know how you say American props. But even if we can't do picks, we're still doing research for y'all and putting quality plays there. So yeah, unfortunately my brother's at work and he didn't have much reception, so he couldn't put them in for me. But yeah, we're here. Of course, like we said, it's just like a stock chart. You're gonna have your valleys, you're gonna have your highs, but the overall goal is just to have a general uptrend. So let's try to, that's why it's very important you do your bankroll management, 1 to 2% per unit. And then if we do have a couple days of losing and your bankroll goes down, you adjust your units accordingly. Your bankroll goes up, you adjust it for a little bit higher picks. So
all right, sounds good to me.
Awesome. Let's have a great week and let us know if there's any questions.
All right, I think we already got it.